God, please grant me a little peace and make my thoughts be still. Give to me one day of rest before it breaks my will. Please just stop this battle for me. I have no strength left for the fight. Help my head to be empty so that I can make it through the night. Take away the thoughts inside that convince me daily that I'm done. Put a light on in this tunnel that feels like the barrel of a gun. Send me freedom from this torture that I inflict upon my mind. I beg for the serenity that I just can't seem to find. God, I'm asking you to help me, though sometimes I fail to believe. But please silence my taunting head so I can find the time to breathe. I ask you to please take away all that this world just keeps on giving. I don't want to have to go to heaven to find the peace to keep on living. You got family or friends coming over, and it's gearing up to a holiday, and you don't have anything cute on your table or your mantle to be festive, so you don't have time to go out and shop for that perfect little item. I'm going to show you how to make it today, my friends. You can make this for yourself and be festive for a holiday. You can sell something like this, or you can give something like this away. But I'm going to show you how to make a beautiful decor piece that you can lay out for any holiday and be ready for it. Hello, my friends. Welcome back. My name is Tammy, and you have arrived at epoxymaid, where the resin gets messy and the projects can get wild. I have my resin right here already mixed up and ready to go. I'm using the Bond Crafter epoxy resin. It has a part A, which is your resin, and a part B, which is your hardener. I mixed it together for 4 minutes. You might check the directions on your epoxy and see how long yours says to stir. Now, I have also ran my resin through my Resiner's Airless Pro bubble remover machine to get the bubbles out, because we don't want any bubbles in our resin. Now, I'm going to go ahead and spritz some alcohol. I'm using 99%. You can use 91% as well. That is perfectly fine to use. Now, I'm going to spritz some alcohol into my mold here. And that's going to help with the bubbles forming on the edges of our mold and in the base of our mold. So now we're going to go ahead and pour this resin. And I'm just trying to get a base layer down because we're going to be cutting a Cricut vinyl to place over this epoxy resin right here. So I just want to lay a base layer of resin down. And we're going to be making this a 4th of July themed home decor piece. Okay, I'm going to run through here. I see a couple of things floating in there, and I'm just going to dip them out right quick. Even though you clean these molds out before you use them, something always seems to make its way into the mold before you pour. And I always run tape across my mold, and I just use the Scotch heavy duty tape, and I run it through my mold before I pour. But I always seem to get something in there no matter how many times I run the tape through there. And I'm also going to be checking for bubbles to make sure that I don't see any on the edges of my mold. Now, I'm not taking this stick and scraping my mold with it. I'm just lifting things out of there. You don't want to do that, because if you scratch your mold, it will always remain in every casting from there on. So be very careful not to scratch your molds. Okay, now I'm going to take my little silicone tipped brush here, and I'm just going to go over the edges, right through the edges. And I'm going slow, I'm not going super fast. And that's just to make sure we don't have any bubbles hanging out and trying to camp out on our mold, because if they remain there and they cure, then we're going to have that in our casting when we demold our piece, and then we're not going to be very happy. All right, I've went completely around the mold. Now I'm going to take my heat gun and run it through there and pop any surface bubbles. And after I run the heat gun through and pop those surface bubbles, I'm going to spritz some more alcohol on the top to pop any of those surface bubbles. And then we're going to scoot this over to my other table and move on to the next part. Now I'm going to be placing my vinyl in sideways, but you could place your vinyl in like this, and then you'll be able to hang your piece on the wall because there's a hole right here. But I don't want to hang my piece. I'm going to be making a stand for my piece, so my vinyl is going to be sideways. Here is my stand that I'm going to be using. And I think I could go ahead and do a 4th of July themed stand, but then that's going to make this stand go with that piece and, you know, be placed out every year with that same piece. So if I make it a neutral color, then I can use it for other things as well, and it won't just have to be used with that one piece. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to color this black, and I'm going to do that with my beautiful glitter here. One of my subscribers, it got me this glitter right here, and it's beautiful. It's black, and it's very shimmery and beautiful. So we're going to be making our stand in this glitter. I have my resin right here, and it's the same as our other piece. It's the Bond Crafter epoxy resin. And now I'm going to go ahead and place some of the glitter into my cup here. I think this mold holds 4 ounces of resin. I'm not real sure, but I will make sure I mark it on the back here this time. So next time I will know. So hopefully we have it right. If not, I can always go mix up some more. All right, let's stop there and see how much we got. I'm going to let it sit there a minute in the cup for 2 things. It's going to degas, and it's also going to show me if I need to add some more glitter. Alright, so I'll meet you back in about 4 minutes. Okay, now it's time to go ahead and pour, but I'm going to drop you down and let you see what I mean about being able to tell if you need to add more glitter. Okay, do you see our cup here? Now, if you were able to see clear resin standing on the top here, then I would say I need to add some more glitter. But since we don't see any clear resin on the top here, then that tells me we have enough glitter. Because when you pour the glitter in your piece and you don't have enough glitter, then what it's going to do is it's going to settle to the front of the mold. And then you will have this layer of clear resin, you know, on the back. Which, if you like that, then that's fine. And, you know, it's not a big deal. It's really no rule as to how much glitter you add to your piece. It's just what you like. Okay, so I'm going to turn my mold to the side there, and I'm going to spritz some alcohol in it, and that's going to help with the bubbles, once again forming on the edges and the base of our mold. And now we're going to go ahead and pour. I'm just going to give my glitter a little bit of a stir in my resin there. Not much, just a little. And now I'm going to go ahead and pour. Hopefully we have enough. And if you put too much glitter in, then it's going to make it really hard for your bubbles to rise to the top and make it out of your piece before it cures. So I just thought I would share that as well. It looks like we're going to have enough, my friends. Wow. I didn't know if I had this one right or not, but it looks like I made just a little bit too much, not much more. I mean, I don't have hardly any left. Okay, we're going to go ahead and let this sit for about 10 minutes, and then we're going to run the heat gun over it and spritz some alcohol on it. So let me find a mold to put this in, and I will be right back. I found these two little molds right here, so I'm just going to put my extras in these. I'm going to spritz some alcohol in there, and then I'm going to go ahead and place this resin in these. Okay, I put a little bit of color in it because the black just didn't look so great in there. So I just added a little bit of color to it, and that's just going to go in our little extra container. Now we're going to go ahead and run our heat gun through this and pop any surface bubbles. Now I'm going to spritz some alcohol, and then I will meet you back when I get the vinyl cut and we have let these cure a little bit. See you later. Okay, I have printed out several things with my Cricut, and I thought this was beautiful. It's got the flag, the American flag, in a heart shape behind the eagle. And then I have some fireworks here that I printed off. Now the reason I printed these in black is because when you lift this up, it's black on the other side. It's the same exact way on this side. So when we lay this down, it's going to be the same on each side. So that's not going to matter because we're going to be putting a color behind this, red, white, and blue. So we want that red, white, and blue to show behind our pieces here. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and lay these down. And what I think I want to do is place this one in the center, our big one in the center. And I'll have a little bit more room on this side because this tray here is a little fatter down here than up here because of the way it's shaped. So I thought we would place the bigger firework over here, and then the smaller one over here some way. So that's my thoughts. I'm going to go ahead and get our eagle and flag laid kind of in the center here, because once I lay it down, it's down. There is no pulling it back up. So I got one shot to get it right. Okay, what do y'all think about that? Do you think that's, I also thought about putting this over here and then the fireworks right there. But that just doesn't look very pretty to me. It just looks off. It looks a bit off. So I think it's going to look better like this. And put one of the fireworks over here. And then one of them over here. Maybe put both of them shooting up, I guess. Yeah, that would make sense. Well, not really. Bottle rockets, they go everywhere. Down, up, left, right. They go everywhere. So, but this doesn't look like bottle rockets. They look more like the ones that shoot up in the air and burst. So maybe we will point them both upwards. Yeah, okay. All right. Let's go ahead and get to it, my friends. If you get your transfer tape started, it's always easier to fold it down like this. There's a piece coming up over here. Let me get it laid back down. There we go. If you'll fold it like this and roll it, a lot easier doing it this way. You'll be lucky to get all of the, see, it's trying to come up right here, so I'm going to stop. And I'm going to poke that back down. And then we're going to keep going. We got another piece that came up. Okay. I have it all intact. And I'm going to keep this right here because I like to keep my transfer tape and use it over again. What I'm going to do to try to keep this from falling down before I want it to go down is I'm going to take these popsicle sticks. And I'm going to place them on there like that. So now I will have sort of a guide to get me down where I want to be before I'm ready to stick it down. This helps out so much. Okay, let's see. I think I'm going to go right here, my friends. I'm going to start up top there. I'm going to lose my sticks. And I'm just going to take this stick right here and go all the way down with it like that. Okay. We're going to pull that up. And you don't want to just yank it because you don't want to pull your resin out of your tray. We do not want to lift that resin. So I'm going to make sure I keep this down. I'm pulling here and pushing down. Now I'm going to move up. I'm going to pull here and push down. Okay. Now I'm going to get my paper here, and I'm just going to place this right back down on it like that, and I can reuse it. And I'm just going to take this right here and scrape that vinyl right there. It's got a little bubble in it. If I use my fingernail, it'll work better. I don't know. It's got some bubbles in it. Can't seem to get them out. Now I'm going to cut this one right here. And we can place the big one over here and the tiny one over here. Or should we place that one there? I think I'm going to do it like that. Okay, now we're ready to put this one on. Get my sticks. I have learned to use these sticks. It's happened to me so many times where the vinyl has dropped on the piece and it had to stay right where it was. Okay, I think I like it right here. Get my sticks out. Okay, I have my colors mixed up here, and I used for my blue, the Sapphire Blue by Pearl X, and it's a mica powder. For my white, I used my Cast and Craft opaque pigment. It's white. For my red, I used my Cast and Craft opaque pigment. Alright, I have a split cup here that is split into 5 sections. So what I want to do here is, I want to go like white. Let's see if I can fill that up. Yeah. I want to go white, blue, white again, red, and we can scrape these cups out in a minute. And then I'm going to do white again on the end here. So I have more white than the blue and the red, because I just think the red and the blue is really going to overtake the white. So I just want the white with the blue and red swirl. Okay, I have that other white mixed up. I'm going to go ahead and pour it in here. And I'm going to stop there. Okay, I'm going to let that sit and degas for about 2 minutes. Alright, we're ready to pour, and just so you know, if you don't have a split cup like this, you don't necessarily need one. It's not a must that you have a split cup. You can just pour your colors in your cups if you don't have one. It's no big deal. I just have it, so I'm going to use it. Alright, we're going to go ahead and spritz some alcohol into the mold here, and that's going to help with the bubbles forming on the edges and in the base of our mold. Okay, let's go ahead and pour. I hope this turns out pretty like I envisioned it. I'm going to start right up top here, and then I'm just going to move through the mold. Now I'm just going to take my stick here and just scrape it out. It's not going to matter for the back here anyway, because our main pour is going to be on the front. And I'm not going to be running my stick through this or doing any swirls through it. Now I'm just going to get the cups, and I'm going to go ahead and empty those out into here as well, so we're not wasting anything. Okay, now I'm going to take my heat gun and run it through there and pop any of the surface bubbles, and then we'll spritz some alcohol over it, pop those surface bubbles, and cover it, and I will meet you back when it cures. It's demold time, my friends. First, I just want to say real quick, happy 4th of July, and I hope no matter where you are or what you do, you are going to have a day to remember. One for the books, my friends. I hope you have a wonderful day. Okay, let's go ahead and get our stand out first, and then we can place our other piece on the stand as we demold it. Oh, that turned out gorgeous. Look at that glitter just dancing around. So magical. Oh, it's beautiful. So beautiful. We've been invited to a friend's house that lives on the lake. So I'm going to bring this as a gift to watch the fireworks show. And do a little fishing, since I can't really do much else. And being out in the heat makes my chiggers itch even worse. So we're going to put our stand like that. And there it is. So cute. Now for our main attraction. I hope it turned out so pretty, my friends. Let's get in here and see what we got. I looked and looked for a 4th of July bow that we could put on the end of here, and I didn't have any more. So I'm going to have to stop by the store and grab one before we go out to their house, because that'll be how I finish this off. And I'm sorry y'all didn't get to see that part. Oh my goodness, it's beautiful. It's pretty. It definitely needs a dome. But it turned out so pretty. And then we're going to put it up here like this. I can't leave it on there long because it's not fully cured. And there it is. It's leaning back a little because it's not really fully cured. I probably should have made a different stand for it, because this stand wants you to scoot it forward, which is still pretty like that. It doesn't matter. And I'm going to put a cute little 4th of July, something through here that's 4th of July, or tied around here. But I think it turned out really pretty. I'm going to take it off of there so that it doesn't get any worse. Oh, it's really not moving that much. It did cure for a long time, So, but what we're going to do on the back here, I'm going to go around the edges there. And trim that. But I'm just going to take my little name tag here. And I'm going to put it right there. And I'm going to put it in a little UV resin bubble. That's how I finish all of my pieces off. It's my signature style, how I signature my pieces. Make sure you get the bubbles out. But I like to put it in a cute little bubble of UV resin. I'll spritz that with a little bit of alcohol to pop those bubbles. Okay, now we're ready to cure it. And this is my favorite Let's Resin UV lamp because it just folds up and it's so compact and petite. You can put it anywhere and pull it out and just start curing. It's so nifty and neat. I love it. It's my favorite UV lamp. Okay, that's fully cured. And there it is. I made this other piece right here. It says Hello 4th of July. And it's in some really cool paper. Do y'all see that? Vinyl. It's in some really neat, cool vinyl. I was thinking about placing it on top here, but I don't know. I don't think it's... I don't know. I'm afraid it might mess it up, but it's so cute. I don't know. I'm scared to put it on there. I don't think I'm going to put it on there. Well, it's about that time, my friends, for a sweet goodbye. And I will see you in the next video. God bless you. Goodbye, my friends.